Hey guys, it's Jacoya of Jacoya Gems. Thank you for once again coming back to my channel. For tonight, we have a feature from my blog, Scribe, and I present to you none other than one of my longtime friends, one of my longtime sister, Andrea. We call Fluffahantas Williams. She will be talking to us tonight as healing and seeing the world through her mother's eyes. So, with that being said, I'm going to allow her to introduce herself to you guys while I get you guys out this link so that we can get tonight's show started. Hey, sis.
Hey girl. First I want to stop and say thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I'm really out of my comfort zone tonight. I have no control, so I'm just hoping I say the right things and hoping that somebody do get something out of tonight. I'm Andrea, but I don't even use my government name. When I was logging in, I said, what name should I put? Because I don't even go. My family really call me Andrea, but my name is Andrea. I kind of go by Fluff. I'm how am I? Ooh, getting old. I'm 34. I'm a radio personality. I have a 6-year-old, and I'm just excited to be a part. Sis, this is awesome what you have going, giving people opportunity to encourage others. So I am like totally for it, and I'm like so super excited to see where it's going. God is going to take you with this.
Thank you, sis, and thank you for opening up tonight, for allowing us into your heart, into your testimony. I do not take it lightly that you would grant me this opportunity. Like you said, you're the one that's on the other side normally. A lot of you don't know, for those of you that will join the live and playback, she interviewed me on her radio show when I had my books. And so I'm thankful that you would allow me to place you in this uncomfortable
Ooh.
predicament tonight. So, sis, tell the people where you're from.
I am from South Side of Chicago. I know sis is a West Sider, but South Side of Chicago, Wow Hundreds, show East Side right now. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna low key claim the East Side because this is where I've been for the last 4 or 5 years. So I think I have earned my rights to say East Sider of Chicago. So yeah.
Oh, girl, why would you want to do that to yourself?
Of the world over here, and I just feel like I fit right
How
in.
would you describe it? Because there's a lot of misnomers about Chicago, period. And we know, like in the 90s, the West Side was the side that you would hear about a lot.
Mm.
But what would you tell people, the good and the bad, about the West Side and over Eastern Chicago?
Honestly, sis, growing up, the West Side was the scary place. When I would hear people from the West Side, I'm like, oh my God, how are you surviving over there? You from the West Side? Like, I don't know who put that fear in me, but I guess just growing up on the South Side. And I don't, maybe it was the addresses. Y'all ain't got too many numbers over there until there's a street on the street, name on name. I get to look, girl, that Madison and Pulaski.
Yes.
No, no. But I guess people can call that 71st and Jeffrey. Oh yeah, that's the same, because you get off the bus on 71st and Jeffrey, they selling you everything from baby pampers, chargers, phones, cigarettes, lighters, girl, everything. Like, dang, I guess I do need it. Let me get that. You get to thinking let me get that about you. So, yeah, but growing up on the South Side, I don't know. I think like the Beverly area, I went to Morgan Park High School, and I don't know. I think it was like maybe if you went further south, like on 111th and Western, that's where it started. Like, I ain't gonna say white people, but different colored folks was at, and we would call it like the good parts. And once you cross the tracks on the south side, that's where we were, whatever. So I don't know. I guess each side has their side, and I kind of joke like, well, the west side and east side got their own type of crackheads. Like our crackheads over here, I don't know, they just look different. Like I recognize our side of crackheads. I recognize. And I don't know. I guess I've been blessed to be put in areas or in places where God actually had people that I wouldn't even think to be our covering, me and my daughter.
Mm.
And I've lived in Jesus in the last couple of years. My last apartment a year ago, when I say the heart of the hood, I was on. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my baby. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Just come on down. I'm in the meeting. Give me 1 second, y'all.
You fine?
Come on. I'm on live right now. I need you to come on through and go in the room. You just close the door behind you. Here. I'm on the meeting. Go in the room. I'm on live. Don't. Okay. Go ahead and go. You. Go. Close the door. Okay. Sorry. Back. Okay. I forgot what I was talking about.
You
Oh,
see out the different sides.
my last apartment, I was so it was like a do or die situation. Like, I need somewhere to go. This is the only place that's gonna take me. And when I would look at it, I'm like, God, it ain't nothing but drug dealers, crackheads, all kind of stuff in this building. But that was the most safest place I've
Mm-hmm.
the most safest. When I say these guys had our bags, like, it's so funny. My baby became a drug dealer's friend. Not like that, but when she see like, that's my friend, and he like, that's my friend. So just to talk about God's covering and protection, like, you could be in the roughest area and God will still have that covering over you. Like, when I say I felt the safest, the safest. But thank God now, we didn't upgrade it. Thank you, Jesus. And He didn't bless me with my heart's desire. And I'm just look, anywhere you go is crazy. Okay. If the places you least expect got the craziest things going on. So
Mm-hmm.
west side, east side, north side, it don't matter. Close
Absolutely.
the door.
I tell people all the time, even because, like you said, you can live in a neighborhood that will look
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Because where I'm from, it's not the safest place, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel safe because,
Yeah,
like you said, a lot of men in Chicago do not play about women and children.
right.
A
That
lot
is
of them still live by old street code. They
mm-hmm.
don't even let certain types of their friends and
Yeah.
certain ones of their family members speak to you. So I can
Yep.
definitely attest to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know your faith background, but everyone doesn't. So give us some, like, did you grow up in church? If so, what denomination?
Yeah. Grew up in church. My father is a pastor for the last Lord Jesus, 18, 19 years. And I think I was 10 when he became a pastor, apostolic Pentecostal. And growing up, you really don't have a choice as to, which way you're going to go as far as, religion or spiritually. You're just going with the flow. You a kid,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a choice. But as I've gotten older, my relationship has definitely become more, closer with the God, come stronger that I can know him for myself. And, it's good to still have your parents to, be there for you when you need some prayer or just for some encouragement. It's good to still have, but when no one's around, phones ain't, you can't call nobody. So even though I did grow up still apostolic, still Pentecostal, my relationship with God is like I see it through a whole nother window. Like, I know now what they say, well, he's a comforter. I know now what, when they were talking about him being a protector and a provider. God, I don't know about I don't know God to be nobody else. I know him to be a protector and a provider. Because there has been some days I'm like, Lord, I know you real. I'm your child. What's up? I need you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did grow up apostolic Pentecostal, still am, and I would just rather say like, I don't know, God is my homie. Beyond religion, beyond denomination, that's my homie. That's my homie.
So I know you mentioned him starting a pastor when you were 10 years old, and
Mhm.
I know exactly how that is being
Mhm.
a PK, and then by your parents being your pastors. How was that for you? Did you experience any mistreatment in the church or at school from growing up in
Mhm.
church? And then again, by your father becoming a pastor at such a young age?
Um, you know what? You know how they say like pastor kids or the pastor themselves they're very strict and you can't do this or you can't do that. But it was a total opposite for me. Like, I'm the baby of four, and I think the strictness was more on them. Because when it came to me, I went to parties. I did some of the craziest things. Because listen, I did some crazy stuff. Okay, especially high school and eighth grade. My mom did pass when I was 13, and I think that's where more of his leniency came. He didn't know what to do with a 13-year-old. All he knew how to do, a 13-year-old girl at that, all he knew was, let me go to work, let me provide, let me do this, let me do that. So it's like I really got away with everything. If I would just tell you all the things that I did, dumb, oh my God is a, listen, God rescued me from the dumbest situations, and you know, and it's so I'm the dumb one because I lived across the street from our church, so I would have any and everybody at the house. Like my house was the party house, and the saints would just drive by, like raising their glasses down, like is that I. And they just was tricking on me, like Elder Williams, she doing this. Such came out the house, this and that. Okay, shh, okay, come here. And it wasn't really tough. Like I still did what I wanted to do, pretty much. Went where I wanted to go, and I just think it was, like I said, I do think that plays part in me losing my mom and him losing his wife. He didn't know what to do, so it's like, just be happy. That's pretty much, I think, what he wanted me to do, just to be happy. So that's what I did. Was a fool and was happy.
Now, I remember your mom.
Hmm.
Your mom was one of the prettiest women. See, your mom caught my eye because she reminded me of my mama.
Okay.
Both of them was that, y'all Creole color black
Hmm.
women with the hair and the suits and then we became friends. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's her mommy. How
Hmm.
would you describe your mother?
You know what, Tiara? Is sweet, just real sweet. Even though she was stern, now that's stern right there. My daddy, he didn't, whatever. Mama, the most whoopings I got were from her, and they were not with the belt. They with her hand. Sis didn't keep her nails done at all, so she was, throwing them in. And I was big kid, fat chunky kid. So she like, look, let me tell you something. All my whoopings I remember from her, like house shoes, girl. I called myself one time trying to anoint the walls, following, sanctified parents, baby. They will order them walls up, casting out demons, anointing the house, the homes. I'm like, I'm just gonna help. Girl, I had handprints all over the wall, just grease all over. She like, okay, and wore me out. Like, regardless of what, if she sent, take it off. Okay, I'm on a meeting call, okay? I need you to go back in there. Go ahead. Go ahead. And she wore me out, baby. She wore me out so bad. One time, she reopened a wound that was healed. Okay, and people used to be like, "Oh yeah," like, cause my friends, a couple of my friends now, because she was a lunchroom lady. And some kids that I went to high school with are actually my best friends now, who she was their lunch lady when they were in grammar school. And when they found out she was my mom, they was like, oh my God, Miss Williams, she was so sweet. I'm like, we talking about the same lady that be beating me, whatever. But you know what? She was so kind-hearted, so sweet. And what I do remember is sis didn't play about telling somebody about the Lord. Like, we'll be at gas stations and she'd be like, the Lord is coming back. I'm like, Mom, why would you sit there and tell that man that we going to go pay for the gas? And she's just witnessing. And the great things I remember about her that I want to instill in myself is she was a prayer warrior, baby. She would be laid out on the floor. And I'm like, where's my mama? Go in her room, door closed. All I hear is speaking in tongues, just talking. And, I'm not talking, praying. She stayed before the Lord. Like, even during her time of sickness, I read some of her diaries, and she was always still so, I never seen her sad or, none of that. Like, and then at 13, I think she got sick when I was maybe 11. They didn't share too much with me, so I didn't really know what was going on until it got close to the end. And when I would just see her just laid out before the Lord, and I did see like the transition, because she did pass some cancer. I saw the transitions of the long, pretty hair to the short haircut, to the from the short haircuts to nothing, to like, what's going on? Like, they didn't really explain. I do remember one time she did have a talk with me and my sister and my brother, and I was still like, huh? Like, I'm 10, 11. You trying to tell me that you're sick? And it did take a couple of years. At 13, she did pass. And it's like, honestly, I don't know if this makes sense. I don't think I've actually mourned from, losing her after all these years. I rarely talk about, not that I don't that I don't know who she is, of course, but not that I don't miss her. I don't think I think I got comfortable with knowing or understand that sometimes you grow up without a parent, regardless of what the situation is. And I don't really think I have completely mourned. Like, I don't talk about, like, this is really the first time I've openly talked about my mom. Like, we may, say a few things, but I've never gone to a gravesite. I've never, like, I do, like, the day she did pass, I still remember those days. I remember her birthday. But to really, like, have a full blown conversation about not having a parent growing up, that was, this first time since I'm gonna be 35. So I don't know if I feel uncomfortable, or maybe it'll open up some emotions that I've tried to hide,
Mm-hmm.
locked out, as a kid. I don't know, sis. I'm not talking to the Lord about that one. But I don't really think I've actually mourned from 13 years old to being almost 35. And it's not like like I said, it's not like I've forgotten her. Of course I haven't forgotten about her. But it's like I got used to it. And it's just like, okay, this is life now. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, overall, sweet, saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, water by tap, and will knock me clean out. Okay.
I remember we'll be downstairs just playing video games, playing
Mm,
video games. Like, come on, y'all know y'all, because we was cheerleaders, y'all. We used to
mm,
cheer for the church basketball.
mm-hmm.
And she be like,
Turn
y'all know
down.
y'all got to go to sleep. We got to be up early in the morning so y'all could go cheer. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll be down practicing the cheer. Y'all got the cheer
Mm-hmm.
right. Y'all got the cheer right. Thank you for opening up with me and
Mm-hmm.
the audience and sharing. Especially by revealing this is something that you don't normally talk about. We'll talk on offline
Mm-hmm.
about that. Now, when that happened by your mom transition, and then I know you spoke to the freedom that you ended up gaining with your dad. How in at that point did you cope? Did you shut down or
Um, no, I can't remember. I think this is like a mental block, since I really cannot remember. I think I really just adapted to my reality and was like, okay, this is, she's gone.
Mhm.
Let me just not, and it's not that I have to convince myself to remind myself, you didn't forget about her. You didn't forget it. You know who your mom is. You didn't let her, just become a memory and just gone. No, I really do believe that I just blocked out the whole situation. Like, I don't remember having conversations with my dad. I don't remember nothing. I remember, let me see. I don't remember. I don't really. I no. I can't make nothing up to you. I don't remember. I don't remember having a conversation with him. I don't remember having conversations with my sister. I think they just babied me and was like,
Mhm.
well, if she don't say nothing, we're not gonna say anything. They were like, well, when she opens up, that's when we'll say
Yeah.
something. And it's like, now it's still kind of awkward. Like, if my daddy say something about my mom, and I'm like, what? And he just have to make sure that the waters is cool enough, to even talk about that, because we've never had a conversation, never. And I know people, like I said, they go visit graves. So I'm fool with graves, whatever, for anybody, any situation. So I've never. My sister has, but I have never stepped foot, nothing. Like, I really cannot remember life after it happened until I got maybe like high school, 16, 17.
Mhm.
I can remember more of that, but at that moment, them years from 13 to maybe 16, 17, it's a blur. It's a blur.
So after you talk to father, we gonna bring you back, but we gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk as sisters
Uh-huh.
offline. Now, bring us to high school. That transition to high school, being 16,
Mm-hmm.
you still a PK,
Yeah.
but now you in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to the people how that feels, darling, especially growing up in Chicago.
Girl, listen, we're gonna go back to when chips was for $1, okay, and the snacks was for like, you can get a whole little something with $1. You could really get some things. And my daddy he would work all his life. Now after that, what, he went through a memory loss too. He went through a memory loss too, and it's kind of funny. I'm gonna bring it up, but I'm gonna get to that later. But as far as high school, girl, I was the freshest one, I think, and he had money. He had money, so it was just like, give her what she want, you know. And people were like, "You going to they be like, why your daddy ain't never at home?" Not like that, but he worked full time and he was a pastor. Like being a pastor and losing your wife and you got a kid at home. So it's like he tried church was his, you know, sanity. You know what I'm saying? Being at the church, ministers to other, not that he just said she'll be all right, but he was coping too. So
Mhm.
it's like, girl, I had a schedule. Like he don't get home till 6. On today, Wednesday, he had Bible class. He don't get home till 9. Like, G, my house, I called you G. My house was a straight party house. Like, and I did, but he wasn't so hard on me because I did the bare minimum. I could have been somebody in life, but he was just like, he was at the point where he was like, long as you graduate, you can go on prom. That's the only thing he said. Like, I want you to have these great. And I wish he would have been a little harder on me because I was like, he don't care. You know what I'm saying? If I got in trouble at school, I would call my sisters. Like, could you talk to her real quick? Could you, I would not fool with my daddy when it came to school. Like I would have my sisters with emergency contact. And it was like I just did me. Like I don't know if that was a coping, that was helping me cope. I don't know. But I was a straight class clown in high school. And when they would meet him, like on port car pickup, they were like, "This is your child? You sir, help us understand. Reverend, help us understand what's going on here." Like I was a straight class clown. He didn't whoop me. He whooped me once. I think he just got fed up with teacher calling every day. And he fake hit me a couple of times. But since being an 8 girl in high school, they were like, "Your daddy ain't no pastor. Your daddy is not no pastor. Not the way you act." I'm like, "What I did? I ain't doing nothing. Do anything. What are y'all talking about?" And they never saw him. Only time my teacher saw him was on port car pickup. No, none of the people, even in 8th grade, people thought he was a pimp because all he did was wear like suits and they was like, "Is your daddy a pimp?" I'm like, "No." No, he's not a pimp. He's a minister. And yeah, I can't even say or even relate to real strict parents that were in Christ. But when I turned 15, he did get married again. And I think that was the toughest thing for me to kind of deal with. And it wasn't because she was a stranger or anything. It was just like, how could you move on so quick? Like, what are you doing? Like, that was my whole thing. I think that was that 8th grade? I think that was 8th grade no, it wasn't, maybe freshman year. And I was just like, what are you saying? Like, what is she coming around for? Like, what's the deal? Tell me. And he was dating. He was dating other women or trying to get out there. He was trying, his friends were trying to, like, give him blind dates. My daddy, listen, he handsome. Yeah, he was mourning, but he had a certain type. Okay. And listen, they would try to go through me, feed me. They like, he got a fat daughter. We're going to just take her out. You girl, you know how many women took me out? So many women have taken me out trying to get to him. And he already said, I said, "Daddy, why you don't like her?" He's like, "Look, I don't do big women." I said, and then as an adult, he was like, "Look, none." I said, "All your kids fat. How you don't like fat women?" And when I think back at my mom, like she was not, he had a type. So it's like, that I think to him moving on was the biggest transition for me, was the biggest issue for me to deal with. I wasn't his only lady anymore. And somebody else is coming in, taking over and trying to tell me what to do. And you got a kid too. So it's like, okay, I ain't the baby no more. And because I really planned on staying home until I got married, whenever
Mhm.
that was. I didn't plan on ever leaving. Just gonna be me and him. But things changed. Things changed.
And that's a really, 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 really big transition,
Mm-hmm.
especially at that point in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for me because I ain't 13. I'm 35, and baby.
Yes. I already know. God bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts because
Bless
I'm
their
good.
absolutely.
You know exactly what I'm
Absolutely.
saying. Because
Absolutely.
I'm um so when you were going through that, you're going through the stages of stepmom, stepsister, wasn't a stranger,
Mm-hmm.
someone that you actually have already known.
Mm-hmm.
How was that with going back to church, especially the type of church that we come from?
Well, because we were already gone,
Oh, you guys were pastoring at that point.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it really wasn't nothing to deal with. It was just more so like, because me and Candace was cool. Like we, as as kids, we were already friends, whatever. And it was just like, I I can't really put my finger on it. But now I'll say now she well I'll still say there as the years has gone because they've been married now for 20 years now, and she has never called me her stepdaughter, never called me her stepchild. I was always the one who was hesitant to be like, oh, this is my stepmother, or this is my my daddy's wife, whatever. And she's such a sweet person. Shout out to I do now as an adult, I can refer to her as my mom. I used to didn't feel comfortable at all, like, nah, this is my stepmama. I respect her, but that ain't my mama. And it's like now I can sit there and say, like, you have not that she earned the word mom. She has, but I wouldn't put that on her. But she has been nothing but sweet to me, nothing but kind to me. We've had maybe out of 20 years, we've had maybe two misunderstandings. I won't even say fights, arguments, two misunderstandings out of 20 years. And she's like one of my best friends. Like I tell her all my tea. Like she comes to me with tea too. Like I think I'll be the first one that she come, even though Candace is her blood child, she comes to me first sometimes. She will tell anybody, like, Annie is my sweetest child. Annie is this and that. And it's like it took 20 years for me to get comfortable to say this is my mom. Even though she didn't do anything to me, my comfort level just wasn't there yet. Because I kind of feel like, well, if I say that you're my mom, that means I didn't forget about my mom or my mama don't mean anything. And it's like I'm comfortable now. And it's like, dang, I couldn't say it. Like, and she would get a little offended. Like, I never call you mine. Well, she never said that, but I could, read her body action or body, you know, gestures, whatever, and how it would kind of like throw her off a little bit. Like, I'm there for you. I do this for you. Why you so strong on the step part, whatever. And her family was so welcoming. Like girl, listen, it was God ordained. I'll just say that I don't think I would have had a better relationship with another woman. And not wishing it happened like this, but
Right.
because it did, she was nothing but loving to me. Nothing, girl, you couldn't even tell. People didn't know that we weren't blood or didn't know us from before. They would just say, oh, your daughter Annie, or your daughter. So it worked. It's working. And like I say, that's my homie. That's one of my best friends. We talk, he do all kind of stuff together. So yeah, it worked. It's working.
And that's beautiful to me. That not only speaks to your growth in your adulthood, but
Mm-hmm.
that speaks to the type of woman that she is.
Mm-hmm.
No, I have children, and I've never been in a situation where a wife or a girlfriend has ever played friendly, which
Mm-hmm.
is, for me, it's strange because I'm like, it's about these kids and
Right.
the kids alone. And for me, if you're a woman and you're coming into a situation where there's a family already made,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it is, it's just a certain amount of grace and a certain amount of decorum,
Mm-hmm.
void of entitlement that a woman should come into. So I definitely salute First Lady Williams
Mm-hmm.
for that and commend your strength in being able to recognize
Mm-hmm.
this woman has done absolutely nothing to me. This is
Right.
about me and this is about that. Because it's very easy to project.
Mm-hmm.
So lead us into adulthood.
Okay.
As far as, 'cause I know you've been talking to your beautiful baby, who just came in. So, kind of lead us into that situation. And before you do that, I was talking to when I was interviewing Cashmere last week, and you could tell me about your own experience as well. A lot of times, in church, we're taught to date a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
And by being taught to date a certain type of way, we can be very easily manipulated.
Gosh, sis. Yeah.
And I'm so happy because what I told you,
Yeah.
like this is what I see, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we don't stop to pray to say, well, why was I shown this? And so with that being said, a lot of times men are able to come to women and be like, you're my wife. And I'm not saying that that's what happened to you, just to give the people like a little background on how things happen for us, especially as women,
Okay.
growing up apostolic Pentecostal. So go ahead, sis.
Um, as far as the whole, once we hit adulthood, still same religious background, seeing our saved parents, and we only know do this, do that. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, and it's like that kind of went with me until my adulthood after high school, and it's like forgetting about grace, forgetting that we all fall, forgetting that you will fall, you're not perfect, and you cannot expect whoever you date or marry to be perfect as well. And I think that right there kind of, messed with me a little bit, because I think, well, I'll just go to the whole marriage thing. After, let me see, I got, how old am I? God, I'll be 35. I don't even remember. 20, that's a blur too. 20, I don't know, girl. I can't tell you I can marry 6 years ago. I'll just say that. I was drawn by oh, I'm in church. Oh, I go to this church. Oh, I know this person. Oh, I know that person. And it's like, as a church woman, or a one who's grown up as as a church woman, or you be like, you do? Oh, okay. But it's like, where's your fruits from it? Now I'm at that age, and I'm like, let me see your fruits. That means, okay, you do that, you part of this, you would, let's see. And I was so before I met him, I was celibate for maybe like 3-4 years. My ex-husband, I was celibate 4 years. And I was like, man, God, what's up? Like, I ain't fooling with nobody, I ain't dating nobody. And then here comes, and he wasn't a stranger. He wasn't a stranger. I had seen him through passing. And oh, excuse me. I had seen him through passing, and he commented on a picture on Instagram, and it kind of went from there. And I was drawn by uh his Christian act. I'll just say that. Maybe it wasn't an act, but I'll say it was an act, because he knew that's where I was. He knew, you're not living with me. You're not. I'm not having sex. None of that. Like, I'm trying to really live this Christian lifestyle, and him agreeing to be a part of that was like, okay, me too. It wasn't like a, oh, that's what you're doing? Well, let me tell you how long I've been doing that same thing. Let me tell you this and that. It was just like, okay, I'll just follow suit. Whatever you say.
Mm.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, he go to church. He go to Bible class. He want to come with me. This is it. This got to be my husband. He can help the church. All this and that. This has to be my husband. But I think I was too hard on him. I think I expected him to be um I expected more. I think that's because that's what he gave me. I was expecting more out of you, because you gave me the impression that you were this person, this type of person. So I held you to that standard. And then when I was so hard on that, instead of just letting it go and talking to the Lord about it, I tried to, you're not doing this right. You should be doing this. The same thing what that was instilled in me, I tried to instill in him. And it was just like, listen, he ain't got it. Not even he ain't got it. He ain't with that. I had to open my eyes and realize, like, there's no fruits from this, no good or bad fruits. It's just a bunch of talk. So I went on and did well, you love me, I love you. I don't want to, and then I didn't, that's what, red flags. I said I didn't want to shack no more. I had shack before I met him. I didn't want to have sex. I didn't want to do any of that. Him coming into my life made me change my whole, anything that I stood for. And I didn't look at that as, let him go. This is not, nobody who's for you is going to come in and make you change, what you got going on. Either they're with that already, or they're going to pull you to where they're going, whatever. And that's what happened. Like, it wasn't, we liked each other. We did, like, I enjoyed being around him, but it was, I don't know. And if somebody asked me, like, how did the marriage end? I would have to really sit there and think about it, because it was so petty, like, so, minor, that just kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And then the hate was so bad. Like, why do I hate him? Why do he hate me? And there's so many things that happened within that time frame. And listen, to minister to myself, take my time. And I feel like, okay, we was together 8 months. You know, he had church with me every Sunday, but I had to think about it. When we going to church, I'm getting a wrath from my parents and he catching the bus so that they won't see him coming out of my house. So it's like, this is not of God. Like, you know, God ain't gonna have you sneaking. And then when we going home, they taking me home and he riding the bus. So, you know, that nobody will see what's going on. And I should have called on in, like, you ain't got to sneak or, you know, what God has, this ain't it, you know. And now I understand that, like, look at the bigger picture. Don't just be sitting. I think I was a little thirsty too. Like, it's been too long. He's sweet. He nice. He kind. He could sing. He this, and that. And I fell into a whole, and I kind of felt bad. Like, I've been saved all these years, or I've been living for you all these years, and I fell for this. Like, you know, I let this get the best of me, and now look at me. I can't get mad at you because we divorced. Now we got a kid together. Like, Lord, and when I say hell happened, like, look, and I think back on them like, good God, like, Lord, thank you for not allowing me to lose my mind. I could have killed both of them, Lord. I really
Mm-hmm.
could have and got away with it because of the situation. Like, I thank God that my mind was never in kill mode. It was never in, even though I was done dirty and all kind of horrible things happened within those years, you know. And I had to think back now, like, instead of trying to make him be somebody, I should have just let it go. Just, you can't make nobody. Once you realize and see what the real is, let it go. If they don't want to be right or, you know, do right, then I can't just put all the blame on him. I had my faults too, you know. So it's like, and then one thing I really do regret is not going to marital counseling. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any kind of counseling. We just went right into it. And it was like, you know, as long as we in church, you know, every Sunday, every Wednesday, we're going to be fine. You know, we're going to make it, baby. The biggest issues we had happened in church. You know what I'm saying? Fighting in church, arguing in church, the most embarrassing thing that could ever, you know, happened. And it got so bad. I'm like, God, I can't get mad at you. And then when you gave me opportunity to get out, my mind was, no, no blended family. God, I don't want my baby to be around another woman, or I don't want her to see another man. God, and he like, dummy, do you, you know? And then eventually I got it. Like, man, go. Let him go, you know. So I went through a whole healing, you know, process with that. And, you know, nobody wants a divorce, especially when you got a family together. And
Mm-hmm.
you don't, divorce is not what you know, look forward to it. You don't think about divorce when you're so excited. The marriage, the wedding, the this, the that. And I'm just right now, thank you, God, for the release. Thank you, God, I'm free since June 2021, and I'm not glorifying divorce. I'm not. I'm glorifying my peace. I'm glorifying my happiness. I'm just, you know, the healing process has begun and it's going, and I'm, you know, I'm cool. The only thing about a divorce is when you got a kid, you still got to deal with them because of the kid.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What
he's
are,
working with me with that as well. He's working with me with that.
what are some red flags do you feel like we miss as women? Because, like you said, okay, so first of all, some people don't know how it is to be celibate for
Hmm.
years. We know how that feels.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of times during that time, we so focused on God, so
Hmm.
focused on work, for me, my kids,
Hmm.
that we aren't actually learning how
Hmm.
to date,
Yeah.
learning how to court. We're
Hmm.
just sitting back like, I'm serving God, and whatever gonna come to me, gonna come to
Yeah.
me. But we not being put on game.
Hmm.
We not shedding off of anything that's about us that may be jacked up, that from
Hmm.
childhood, that may attract somebody. Because
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that magnets attract.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. You're gonna repeat
Hmm.
childhood trauma. You're gonna repeat what it is that you've seen, what it is that you've grown accustomed to, what it is that's on the inside of you. So what are some red flags that you feel like we miss as women?
You said that we miss as who?
As women.
As women. Um, let's see. I think before we can even recognize red flags, we have to already know who we are. And that, if you don't know who you are and you just, and men can smell like an insecure woman. They can smell, um, you know, they can just smell it. They can see what they can prey on. They know what they can prey on. They know, oh, she weak. You may not be, I don't know. I think it first starts with being comfortable and being and knowing who you are. So if you know who you are, you know what you're not going to accept. You know what, you're okay with saying, I'll be alone for this moment. I'm going to pass this up. I'll endure being alone because I don't want to waste my time with this. I don't want this looks like this could be a heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the game a little while longer, so I'm recognizing. I think once you start seeing red flags and you've grown as to who you are as a person, it's easier to just say, go ahead. No, I'm gonna let this one go. You're not thirsty, because when you're being thirsty, that's when you're like, well, I see the potential. Maybe the potential will, eventually, if I keep, stick by his side, everything will be okay. If I just continue to pray for, I'm just gonna be everything he needs. Okay, what about what you need? We and that's something too that we excuse me, sis, dealing with a little cough. No COVID, just dealing with a little cough.
He's so ignorant.
um I can't really speak for everybody else, but as far as me with red flags, I've I have to look at the past and say, listen, I don't want to deal with no more unnecessary hurt. No more. I don't want to waste no more time. I feel like I wasted a lot of time trying to fix something that didn't want to be fixed. So to avoid that, to avoid another heartbreak, red flags to me may not be red flags to somebody else. So to avoid it to me, I got to be like, you know what? This is a familiar situation. You don't have a job. You living with who? Oh, no. Okay. Look. God bless you. This is too familiar to me. This is too familiar to me. And once we're okay with being alone, I think that you really get a hold of, catching seeing red flags and bypassing them. You know, because that's the whole thing with me now. Like this season now, I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to. I've been married. We had family time. We had good times. So it was like now I got to go from having it to not having anything. And the fact that he was able to continually be with people, that would eat me up. Like, oh, that would eat me up. Like, why I can't have nobody? Why I can't do nothing? Why I'm just by my. And now I'm like, you know, embrace this time you got by yourself. Embrace this time, get to know you, get to know who you are. Cause it's like I jumped right into this. I don't know how to date. I don't. I think I will run every man away. I will run them away because I don't know how to be cool. I don't know how to, at this point, I'm not. I'm not saying vulnerable right now. I'm okay right now. At that point when I wanted to date while he was, dating people, I would have been in the world of trouble. Would have been in the world of trouble. But I think once somebody becomes one with who they are and is confident in who they are, red flags will be easy just to bypass. Like recognize it and sorry, this ain't it.
That also takes self awareness, though, and even to reach a level of cognition while you're in something. Because, like you said, sometimes people hop from relationship to relationship. And when you
Mm-hmm.
hop from relationship to relationship, you just hopping and you just swapping the spirit into a
Yeah.
different body because you haven't taken that time out to stop. You haven't taken that time out to heal, but you
Yeah.
also haven't taken that time out to see, first of all, what's broken about you, what
Yeah.
needs to be fixed, what did you do wrong in a situation? Because we
Mm-hmm.
just don't have to be honest. Because I loved how you said it wasn't all him.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's kind of like a rarity for
Mm-hmm.
women to say. A lot of women feel as if I'm cooking, if I'm cleaning, if we having sex,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm helping him out with small bills, then that's all we have to do.
Right.
And that's not true. And
Mm-hmm.
so I love the fact that regardless of what it is that he did, that you took
Mm-hmm.
time out to be able to be self-aware. But even speaking to the fact that if you can't be by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be happy with a body next to you. You
Yeah.
just going to make that body sick of you and resentful of you
Yeah.
because you be sick of yourself. Like a lot of times people can't stay alone because they really don't like themselves.
Mm.
So
That's
tell us about now. And I know you said you're not glorifying divorce. We both know that. We both came from two-parent households, believe in marriage. all of that. I'm not ready to date neither, sis. Like I'm good. I want. Mm-mm.
I
They
feel
beautiful though, but no, thank you. So I know you're about 6, 7 months out of your divorce, but
mhm.
not 6, 7 months out of your success. So I want to give this time for you to talk to the people about everything that you have going on. Share about your radio show, your times, and just everything. So you got the floor, sis.
Okay. Well, now I can leave my government name alone. Because I do go by Fluffahantas. And I have a radio show, AM 1570 every Friday night, 9:30 p.m. It's called The Fluff Show. I've changed the name. It's The Fluff Show, and it's centered around Chicago artists. Lately, for the past year, I have been doing music artists, and pretty much the underdogs. Nobody who they really don't, they're not recognized. Nobody really know who they are. So I do my little research on Facebook, and see who got music out, or I'm kind of like in the, I know people, so I kind of look through different pages, and people that do music, and they end up advertising the people, the music they've worked on. So I look at them like, oh, you an artist, can I interview you? You can play your music. That's pretty much what my platform is for Chicago artists, to come and just promote themselves, get them opportunity to be loved on, let people call in and love on them. So the show is for Chicago. I'm just there. I'm just there taking up space, and I interview them, let them shout their people out, and I'm having fun. Like, oh my God, I love it so much. So I'm kind of like opening up the artist term to poets and inspirational
Yes.
speakers. And even there's a guy out now, he writes romantic poetry, something like that. He got like an album of love poems, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to just broaden the artists instead of just music, whatever. And give, because every Chicago is just so talented all around the board. So yeah, that's what I'm doing every Friday night. I'm trying to get to a point. I'm praying that the guy opens up some doors that I want to start getting paid from. I want my own, maybe not. Let me see. I'm not gonna put the limits on God. I want a show, like a big name show, or not a show, station, to hire me. I did have an interview with 1390. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about y'all 1390, because I might, end up be working for y'all in the future one day. But I would love for a station to reach out to me and say, hey, we want you to be a part. That's my goal. And I'm gonna keep on working my platform until it gets bigger. And if it is just to help others, I'm cool with that, because people leave feeling good. Once they had their music played, people call in and say they liked it and enjoyed it. I like that. I like that. So I'm on every Friday night, 9:30 p.m. AM 1570. I'll definitely be on tomorrow night with a Chicago artist. So yeah, check me
Sis,
out, man.
we're gonna have to do some work together. I'm gonna
Yeah,
talk to you about the podcast that I have coming up, and
yeah.
but definitely need to pull on you some. And I'm also gonna be stepping out into my spoken word stuff. So next
Okay.
time we connect,
Yeah,
you know,
February 4th, actually, sis. I finally got the date. February 4th. That time is gonna be shared amongst whichever business you want to elaborate on
hmm
that night. You just, choose one. And we're gonna every Monday will
okay,
be, no, not every Monday, Jesus. Every first Friday will be for businesses. So
okay.
that's what I'm doing now. So yeah, February, you the first one I told as far
Thank you,
as,
sis.
yeah,
I feel
find
special.
you a time slot, and it's gonna be a call in. It's
Okay.
gonna call in, and we're just gonna, look. That's who we are. I'm trying to be a woman of my word, because somebody else asked if they could come on and talk about their business. I'm like, yeah, January came, and I forgot. I said, Lord, I want to be a woman of my word. So I said, okay, February, the first Friday in February. That's gonna be the business night. So we're gonna talk again to see,
We will. I'm gonna have to bring you back on because I want us to like do some like topics
Mm-hmm.
together so that my platform can get to hear your voice and they could get
Mm-hmm.
used to seeing your face because you opening up, allowing Chicago artists to come on your radio show. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing, but people need to hear you and people need to see you, so
Aw.
that when you do have your own radio platform, I can be like, hey sis, let me put my podcast on there. What's going
Absolutely.
on? You know, Black
Absolutely.
women make other Black women billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely thank you and appreciate you. Now, what I do want you to do, give me your Cash App, so when people your Cash App, your PayPal or something, so when people come back and watch this, when we
Okay.
upload it and you share it, they can bless you.
Okay, no problem. What is? I think I changed it. $ Fluff Show. FLUFFSHOW.
And so I'm gonna have that right there in the comments. I'm gonna put it in the description, and I'm gonna also write up a short blog about you featuring your
Okay.
radio information, and it'll be available on the website. You got anything else you want to leave us with, sis?
Um, Not really. I don't know, girl. I'm just listen. The day and age that we in, I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad. Um, I don't know. I really am glad for where God has me right now. He know I do desire to jump the broom again, but I'm enjoying knowing who I am. I'm enjoying uh learning how valuable I am, and I'm enjoying just, I'm enjoying my singleness for the moment. That's what I'm
Mhm.
enjoying. And if anybody's out there looking to marry, I am for marital counseling. Go get some counseling. If I can leave with anything, just because they're nice, just because they go to, this is both men and women, go get some counseling, because that's where a lot of things come out at in counseling. You hear different points of views, you hear different values, different views. You be like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way. So yes, definitely go get some marital counseling. Don't skip that process. Go to a godly counsel, or whoever, somebody that's gonna steer you the right direction. Go get some counseling with your boo, before you jump the broom. Because I don't want to. I mean, divorces do happen, but I think they could be avoided as well. So yeah, girl, bro, be you. Love you. And yeah, that's all I can really say right now.
Well, thank you for sharing with us tonight, sis. I enjoyed this conversation with you. And thank you again for allowing me to interview you, not only put you in a position where you're not the interviewee, but for sharing so much of yourself. I do not take that for granted. And I really love you and appreciate you.
Love you too, girl. Thank you for having me. Like, girl, I
Of
was sharing.
course.
I want to say the right thing. Lord, help me to say the right.
Yeah, no, and you look cute. Y'all look at her. Y'all, that's my fashion, baby. I be texting her like, send me them glasses.
Girl. See, the thing is, when I had some money, I knew how to just, get everything I needed, because there was going to be a time when I was going to be broke.
Listen, that's
Girl,
that rainy day anointing, okay?
girl, she was just getting on me the other day. She said, how much money? I said, I got $2.96 in my account. She like, what? Yes. So
But we
nice,
made it.
girl, but God has provided,
Of course.
again. But yes, I had fun tonight, sis. I
Me
appreciate you. Like I
too.
said, I've never opened up about my mom before. Never talked about any of this before, like publicly. So
I appreciate you and I love you. And we gonna bring you back.
I want to come back,
But
girl.
this was a good dynamic. We gonna do it on my Instagram live.
Okay,
Because
that's fine.
IG be popping or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's
So
figure
we
it
can
out.
have like a real conversation. Because both of
Yeah,
us funny too. So
girl. I don't try to be, girl.
no, it's just natural. It's part of your charm, darling.
I don't try to be. I really thank you so much, sis.
Of
I
course,
appreciate it.
of course. So, guys, with that being said, I'm Jacolia from Jacolia Gems, and we are signing off from Survivor Scribe. Once again, this will be available as soon as we log off, and I will be posting a blog about Fluff, and you will be able to find her information for her radio show. And also, if you follow me on Instagram at Sierra_holiday, you will also be able to find her page because she's linked on there as well. So thank you guys for joining us on tonight. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.